Ready, 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 ready.
Merry Christmas!
The Christmas tree. This is devil worship disguised as religion. So protect your family and don't get caught lacking.
Imagine moving to a country built on values you openly mock. You benefit from its freedoms, raise your children there, and then turn around and post videos attacking the very faith and traditions that country celebrates. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Here's a Muslim guy who's living in the United States, raising his family in the United States. And here's his Christmas video message.
Ready, 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 ready.
Merry Christmas!
You've been celebrating this holiday for years, yet Jesus nor his disciples ever did. So where does this tradition come from? Saturnalia, a Roman Greek festival where gifts would be exchanged to celebrate the pagan god, Saturn. The evergreen tree, worshipped for immortality and eternal life. But you know it as the Christmas tree. This is devil worship disguised as religion. So protect your family and don't get caught lacking.
Wow. Now imagine moving to a Muslim-majority country and then setting up a religious booth, handing out Bibles or blasting Christian worship music right next to people. Celebrating Eid. Would anyone seriously think that's appropriate? Now flip the situation. Here's a video from Denmark, where Muslim immigrants have set up a stand, playing Islamic music and distributing Qurans directly beside a Christmas tree and a menorah. You know what stands out about this clip? The Muslim group deliberately sets up a booth and starts playing Islamic chants right next to a Christmas tree and a menorah, which, honestly, is completely inappropriate. There's no other way to describe it. The people in Copenhagen respond by putting up a sign. You can see it for yourself in the video. Now this clip starts spreading online, especially among radical Islamist circles, and suddenly they're all crying Islamophobia. Really? Putting aside how absurd that accusation is, what exactly did they expect to happen? You come into a country, openly disrespect its religious holidays and sacred traditions, and then act shocked when people react? People have every right to respond. Of course they're upset. Of course they're angry. You're mocking their faith. You're undermining Christmas. You're disrespecting Hanukkah. And this is where the gaslighting begins. Let me ask a serious question. Do Christians or Jews have that same freedom in Muslim-majority countries? Can they walk into a nation governed by Sharia law, set up a booth, and start handing out Bibles? Do you know what would actually happen if they tried? Thankfully, we don't have to guess. Google is free. A quick search answers it immediately. I typed in, "Is Christian proselytizing allowed in Muslim countries?" And here's exactly what comes up. In several nations that adhere to strict interpretation of Sharia law, proselytizing by non-Muslims is explicitly prohibited by law and can carry severe penalties. In Saudi Arabia, Afghanistan, and Yemen, proselytizing is illegal, as is the distribution of non-Muslim religious materials, like Bibles. In Saudi Arabia, conversion from Islam to another religion, apostasy, is a crime potentially punishable by death. Iran, while there is a recognized Christian minority, converting a Muslim to Christianity can result in jail time. In Algeria, the law prohibits non-Muslims from assisting or advocating for a Muslim to convert, and possessing materials that could shake the faith of a Muslim is a criminal offense. In less restrictive countries, other Muslim-majority countries may be more tolerant of the private practice of other religions or allow proselytizing under specific conditions. In Pakistan, Malaysia, Indonesia, Turkey, and Jordan, these countries generally allow Christians to practice their faith and have existing churches. However, there are often limitations. In Pakistan and Malaysia, there are rules against directly preaching to or attempting to convert a Muslim. In Jordan, the government discourages public protesting to Muslims, though discussing beliefs privately might be tolerated. Turkey is a secular country where protesting is legal, though occasional harassment may occur. Summary: the ability to protest Christianity in a Muslim country is not a universal right, and often depends heavily on the specific laws, government structure, and societal attitudes of that particular nation. While many Western countries operate on a principle of religious freedom that allows all religions to proceed, this is generally not the standard in most Islamic states, which may view proselytism as a threat to the state's religious and national identity. Why does diversity always seem to work in only one direction? Why is it that in countries shaped by Judeo-Christian values, we're expected to accept open disrespect toward those very traditions? Why are we told to just tolerate mockery of Christmas, Hanukkah, or any other religious holiday? Why is it considered normal for Islamic chants to be blasted in Christmas markets? Why are people expected to quietly accept Christmas markets being targeted by Islamist extremists? Why are we supposed to accept holiday celebrations and New Year's events being cancelled because of threats tied to Islamic terrorism? Why is that something we're just meant to live with? And yet, in Muslim-majority countries, Christians don't have that same freedom. They aren't allowed to openly speak about their faith, hand out Bibles, or set up a religious booth. In many places, it's simply illegal. Can anyone actually explain this to me? Because honestly, I'm running out of things to say. There has to be a boundary when it comes to multiculturalism and diversity, and it can't be one-sided. Why are Western countries rooted in Judeo-Christian values expected to tolerate jihadist ideology, while Christianity itself is given absolutely no space in Muslim-majority nations?